In this tutorial we're going to look at how we can incorporate files created in Vectric's Photo VCarve software into our design. So here we can see a fairly conventional set of 2D toolpaths or 2.5D toolpaths creating the decorations around the edge and the border of our picture frame or plaque. And in the middle here we have two of the rather specialist toolpaths created with the Photo VCarve software. If I go to the 2D view here, we can see that the Photo VCarve toolpaths also have associated with them a nice 2D preview that we can use to manipulate them and move them around as part of our design. Okay, so we're going to look now at how this file was created. Okay, so the starting point for this demonstration then is a conventional 2.5D decorative plaque onto which we're going to put the photographs. So I'm just going to open that file. It's called Portrait Frame, and here you can see we've got the 2D vectors that define the edge of the plaque, plus some decorative artwork on the sides and some text. So I'm going to go across and just look at the toolpaths we've created for using these vectors. So if I use the Switch to Toolpath tab, we go across and focus on the toolpaths for a second. And also I'm going to switch to the 3D view so that we can see the toolpaths in situ. So here's our sort of blank material block, and I'm going to turn on now the decoration and text, which is a V-bit carving toolpath. And then we've got the OG border, which is a sort of cutout using a form tool, so that's going to shape the edge to give us a decorative edge to the plaque. And finally, just the simple cutout which actually removes the plaque from the background material. Okay, so I'm going to simulate these. So we'll just preview all of those toolpaths very quickly, and that gives us our material block with the plaque cut out from the middle. If we double click anywhere on material that we don't want in the simulation, it will be removed. So you can remove the waste material and get a better feel for what this plaque will look like. Okay, so that's the basic background, and we're going to put our Photo VCarve images in the center here. So the final thing I want to show you before we move across to Photo VCarve is just to think a little bit about the dimensions here. So I'm going to close down the preview, and I'm going to use the switch back to the drawing tab for a second, and we're going to go to the 2D view here where I can see the measurements of our plaque, which you can see is around about 20 inches wide. And if I just draw a rectangle in the middle here, I can read from the bottom here what the width of my central area is, and it's going to be about 10.5 inches. Okay, so I need to think about each of my images being around about 5 inches in width. That's really the only thing I need to worry about at this stage. So what we're going to do now is switch over to Photo VCarve to make the actual central photographs. Okay, so the starting point for our Photo VCarve toolpath is an image. So I'm going to load in this picture first of the baby boy. Now we've done a little bit of processing of this image first. So this is a photograph that's come straight off a digital camera or something, and it would normally have had the background which we're not interested in for the purposes of our portrait. So before bringing it into Photo VCarve, we've first taken it into a paint package. Any digital paint package will do, really. It's a very simple process then to paint using the painting tools in the package a block of colour. As long as we use one colour, in this case yellow, we can remove anything we like by painting yellow over the areas we're not interested in. And now when we come into Photo VCarve, there's an option here to make colour transparent, and I can select that option, and as I go over the picture here I get a little dropper tool, and I can click any colour on here that we are going to effectively ignore. We're going to make it so that the Photo VCarve software treats it as a transparent colour and will not include it in the toolpath. So when I click anywhere on the yellow, all of the yellow area now becomes transparent, okay, and we're only going to be interested in the photograph. The next thing we want to do is set the material size. Now it's important now that we understand where this final toolpath is going to go, and in our plaque we wanted to go in a small area in the middle of our plaque, so it's important that we set the size here, the physical size of the final toolpath. So in our case we're going to set it to be 6 inches wide. The whole area in the middle of our plaque is about 12 inches, and we want this photograph to form half of that. So we want to set 6 inches in width here. The height is set automatically according to the aspect ratio of the picture, but you can see here it's just over 5 3/4 there. The origin of where the toolpath will start is going to be in the bottom left hand corner here. The material thickness is not massively important to us because we're just going to be engraving a little bit of V-bit engraving in the surface, so the thickness is not crucial, but it's good to keep it consistent. So I've just set it here to 1/8 of an inch, and it is important that we set the Z0 to be the top of the block because we're going to engrave into the top surface of our plaque. And that's it. I can just apply that, and it now enables the next option here, which is to set the cutting parameters. I'm going to use the default tool, but crucially you do need a V-bit tool here which has got a reasonable, comes to a very fine point and has a reasonable wall angle here to get a good effect, but you can experiment with this. The 60 degree is to a fine point is very good. So I've selected that. I just need to say how far are we prepared for the tool to go in, and I've set here 4/1000 of an inch. It just really needs to scratch the surface. It's going to dip in and out according to the photograph. And then we can set the line spacing. So this is the distance between the stripes of our photo V-carve effect. I'm just going to leave that at the default setting of 100, and the line angle of 30 is fine. So that's great. I can at this point adjust aspects of the image so that we can change the relative depth that it will cut the light and dark areas. But essentially I'm going to keep it at mostly the defaults here and click calculate. Okay, so we can see now immediately the photo V-carve effect. So it's a series of stripes where the tool just dips in and out according to how dark that part of the image is, and it produces this nice effect when we cut it into the material that we're going to stain. So really, to be honest, for the use that we're going to put this to, this is the final step. In normal photo V-carve at this point, you would go on to save the tool path out according to the machine tool that you were going to run it on. But because we're going to do a final sort of layout in another piece of software, in our original piece of software, I don't need to go on to this step. I can go up here to File, Save As, and I can simply save this out as a photo V-carve file, a .pvc file, which is the photo V-carve document type. So we've got here baby boy 6 inches by 6 inches roughly. So we can save that out. And that really is all we need to do for the purposes of our demonstration here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and I'm going to open a new image. So I'm going to load in this time the picture of the girl, and then we're broadly going to run through the same steps. So she's also had all the background removed using a paint tool, different colour, but it doesn't matter as long as the colour doesn't appear in your image. Make sure you choose a bold colour that's not likely to appear in your image, otherwise you will make bits of your image transparent at the same time. So in this case we've used a bold blue. I can make that colour transparent as well. Select it and it becomes transparent. Set the material size. Again, I'm going to set this to be 6 inches, and this photograph is exactly square, so it's automatically set the height to the same amount. Set the origin bottom left as well. Again, the thickness is not massively important, but I'll keep it consistent. Z0 at the top. Units are correct, so we can just apply that. Set the cutting parameters, and again, I'm going to use my 60 degree conical tool here with a 1/4 inch radius coming down to a point. If we look at that tool, you can see it comes down to pretty much a point on the tip. And now with the same parameter set, I can calculate the second toolpath for the little girl. And again, I just need to save the file. I don't need to go on to the next page and create the toolpath. We're not going to create the toolpath directly from Photo V-carve. So I can save this now as the baby girl 6 by 6 inch Photo V-carve file. And at this point now, we're finished with Photo V-carve, and I can close it down. Okay, so now we've created and saved our Photo V-carve files. The final step is to assemble all the bits. So we want our original plaque background, and we want to now import those Photo V-carve files and position them on the plaque. Now, to show this more clearly, I'm going to just tile my view. So I'm going to use the option here to tile the windows top and bottom. So I have the 2D view in the top and the 3D plaque in the bottom, so we can see what's going on. And then I'm going to use this import vectors from file option here. And what we can see is that this brings in all of the different file types that we support for importing into the 2D view. And amongst those is the Photo V-carve file format, which I can highlight exclusively by selecting this option. So we only look at Photo V-carve files, which are the .pvc files, and we can see the two files that we just created. So if I double click the baby boy, he immediately is imported both as a photograph that we can see in the 2D view, and also, crucially, the toolpath associated with that photo in the 3D view. And so I can select him, he becomes highlighted with one click. If I click him again, so we've double clicked on him, we get the option to transform this, to move it around. And then I can simply drag it in the 2D view to the position I want in my design using the conventional tools that you're probably familiar with. So I can drag him up here, position him on the right hand side under his name, Thomas, and then you can see that the toolpath has moved accordingly. So this is effectively allowing you to position the toolpath in your existing design. I'm going to come back now and do the same thing for the baby girl and bring her up here into position. So I double click and drag to position. And finally, just to demonstrate the point that you can use many of the same drawing layout options as you're familiar with other 2D elements in the software, we can also use some of those for these photo VCAR files. So in this case, I think from a layout point of view, it would be a better composition if the girl and boy were facing one another. So I'm going to just flip Thomas over so that he's facing his baby sister here. So with the Thomas's preview selected in the 2D view, I can come back to the mirror selected objects here in the transform object section, and we can just choose flip horizontally. And as I flip, you'll notice down here that we've flipped the toolpath as well as the image. If I flip that again, you can see that happening. So that's a nicer composition. Let's just position his sister correctly as well. And once the composition is exactly as we want it, we're ready to just nip across now to the Toolpaths tab, and we can simulate and preview exactly what the final plaque is going to look like. When I go across the Toolpaths tab, we can see that 2 new toolpaths have automatically been added to our toolpath list, which have come from the photo VCAR files. So we can select baby boy, for example, and preview that toolpath, and that has now added the engraving here to the bottom. I'm just going to expand this 3D view to fill the whole space here, and I can do that by double clicking on the bar at the top here. So I double click that, it fills the whole view for me. So we can see Thomas's picture now, and then I'm going to select the baby girl and preview that toolpath too. So we can see now our final finished plaque. Now all of the toolpaths are now all together, they're in the correct positions, so all that remains really, having simulated or previewed the result to see that everything is as we expect, I can now save out the toolpaths. And we can do the usual system of saving toolpaths that you're familiar with. Pick your post-processor appropriate for your machine tool and save the toolpaths out. The only thing really worth emphasizing here is that the origin for each of these toolpaths will be as set by the model that you've imported to. So this toolpath will be cut from an origin of the bottom left hand corner as it is for all of the toolpaths that make up the design. And that's it.